Okay, guys, good morning. First of all, happy Chinese Year if you celebrate, Lunar Year. Uh, Today's lecture is gonna be short. Okay, first I'm going to go over. I think we have maybe 2, 3 slides from the chapter 2, part 2, the programming for the security professionals. We need to finish this one. Then after that, I'm gonna talk mainly about the lab. Then I will stop recording. Then I will let you, starting working in the lab. As you mentioned, the first day in this class or this semester, when you said that we are going to divide, generally speaking, our lectures into 2 parts. The part that we need to cover the theoretical part of the definition, the requirement, how can you use whatever tools, etc. Then the next lecture is gonna be what is gonna be lab. I really apologize. We're supposed to have a lab, physical lab at the university, but I'm trying with the department. The only thing I got so far, an empty room in order to start doing our lab. So unfortunately, we cannot, set up our lab. So I'm gonna rely on you guys in order to set up, your own lab using your own computer. Okay? So one thing here, let me go over the slide here. Yeah, by the way, last lecture was horrible. Yeah, I look at the lecture and said, what's all that? It's funny. The one thing I need just to go over that, remember we talked about the Python code, which will allow us in order to do postScanning after we identify, what are the live computers or machines, or what kind of machines are alive, by just identifying the IP address, okay? Then after that we said we need to investigate more, okay? For every single IP address for the live machine, we need to figure out what kind of servers are there. After that, it's gonna help us in order to start doing attack. So far we didn't do anything, we just introduce you many stuffs. Starting from today, when this lab, once you finish the lab 2, now we're gonna say, yes, now starting working seriously, doing, let's say, some kind of attack, some kind of, searching machines, simulate, just say, the real life scenarios. Yeah, I think. Yeah. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm feeling better, okay, but I have to stay today. Today, I think, the last day of the quarantine. Yeah, they put me in the house. So hopefully, Wednesday, I cannot promise you, but so far, so good. So far, we are going to have in-person class on Wednesday. Things might happen. There's a big storm coming. No, this year is bad, okay? We're starting looking at, I'm eager. Yeah, today is the last day of January. Hopefully everything is gonna go okay for everyone. But I'm not sure. There's a big storm coming. I'm driving. I'm planning to leave the house on Wednesday. But if the nature or the mother nature said, no, you have to stay at home, then I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's go back to the code. By the way, I look at the code is bad. It's not the right code that we need to perform. Okay, let's go to the Python scripting. That's the code that we have. We said, we talk about the Python. Remember right now, maybe someone will say, okay, we didn't have enough practice. How can we write our shell or script or the Python code? I'm gonna delay this one a little bit. Once, for example, understand what kind of tools that we can use, it makes sense at that moment or that time in order to build our tool or our code or script in order to perform this kind of attack or this mission or task, okay? Because right now, for example, I said we need to do nmap. Maybe some students said, what do you mean by nmap? What does mapping doing for the network? It's not clear. So let's study that one first. Then after that, we can write our code. Okay, so again, we are going to visit the Python and the shell script later with more details. So this is the Python code. I modify this one. Okay, sorry. Let me check this one. I modify this code, I believe. Yeah. This is the new code, okay? The old code was bad. When I looked at this one, I said, okay, it's always give me all the ports gonna be closed, which doesn't make any sense. This is the right way how to write the code. So generally speaking, in order to do the port scanning, as you mentioned here, you have specified, for example, you have, let's say, machine 1 and machine 2. Let's say the virtual machine 1, or let's say machine 1, this is the IP address of machine 1. And this is the IP address for the machine 2, and etc. You have a number of machines. Now we're going to focus for every single machine. I need to figure out how many ports are open. Maybe someone said, okay, What do you mean by the ports? We are going to study next lecture, Wednesday. We are going to cover TCP/IP protocol. We're going to take a look. What do you mean exactly with IP? What kind of IP address that we have? Classes, different classes. What kind of ports? What do we do mean with ports? How can we build my packets? How it looks like from inside? Because this one is going to help us in order to perform, the penetration testing that we try to perform. Okay, so the simple thing, if you try to define a port, is like used in order to identify, let's say, whatever you have an application or service on that system. For every single service, okay, it's going to be run under this machine. It's going to use a specific port. For example, 8080, they use HTTP, for example. Why? Because associated with this one of specific port. If this port is running, is open, that means we know that they have HTTP, for example. There is another port to specify whether Apache server is running at that machine at that time or not. How can you tell? By the port number. Okay, more is going to be clear later when as I mentioned, Wednesday, when you start talking about the TCP/IP protocol. Then once you start looking at the ports, etc., you're going to say, oh yeah, makes sense. I know, based on the port number, I can tell what kind of service are running there. Okay, and we're not going to do this one manually. We're going to write our code, and the code is going to do what? It's going to send, let's say, using the socket programming. In the socket, we talked about this one last time, but I'm not sure whether I explained this one correctly, or I wasn't aware of what I'm saying last time. Yeah, of course, I need to come up with an excuse. Okay, so anyway, so generally speaking, we have, let's say, a client and server. Okay, one computer tries to communicate with another computer. That computer, usually when you communicate, we're going to use IP address and the port number. Yeah, and here I'm going to use the IP address and port number. Why I need to use this one? The port number is going to tell me what kind of service I need to connect. For example, my web browser tried to go with the web server there, so you're going to send the request, and the request is going to use, for example, 8080. This is the port number. So here in the server, it's going to have like a program listening, waiting at this port, waiting whether there's any incoming packet. Wanted to communicate with me, then I'm going to receive a packet, then take a look at the packet, then I need to reply or respond accordingly. Okay, this looks like someone listening there at specific ports. Okay, so in order to communicate this one, so how can you simulate that? I'm going to write my code. The only thing going to be fixed the IP address of the server machine. Then I need to go elaborate over all the possible port numbers. Do you know how many ports do we have in the TCP/IP protocol, or TCP? We do have 65,000 ports. If you do this one manually, IP ping, let's say, you're going to try to connect with the socket to the specific IP address and port 1, port 2. You're going to spend 65,000 commands you have to type. But if you write your code, but this one, running the code automatically going to run this one and give me the result that I'm looking for. Okay? So here you need to use, this is the structure. Here I just narrowed down for the first 1,000 ports. Later, when you talk about the TCP/IP protocol, we're gonna know exactly more details about the ports. So we're gonna have like more folks. What kind of ports that we're interested in? Okay, that has some service. We know that what kind of service is gonna be on each service. Okay, usually have like running with or associated with a specific number of ports. As you mentioned, HTTP is usually speaking 8080. Okay, something like this. So, based on the port number, I can tell what kind of service. So I don't want to waste my time to run all the port scanning, although it doesn't hurt at the beginning. Maybe that guy at the server side forgets to close some ports. So I'm going to use this port in order to try to access the system. We're going to see this one later. Okay, here is just the structure. We're going to use Internet TCP protocol. Okay, I'm going to use the IP4. If you want to use IP version 6, we're going to INET 6 here, okay? And here I'm going to say, I need to use the TCP protocol, TCP backed, okay? You know that you have a TCP UDP. We're going to cover this one next week. Wednesday. Yeah, hopefully. Then after that, once you connect, this command is going to start connect with the IP and for every single port that we have number. If the result equal to 0, that means, yes, I managed. This is, the result. It's going to be 0 and 1. 0, that means true. I managed to connect to the server. It's open. It's there. This exists. Someone on the server side, there's a program listening at that port. What does that mean? There's a service running there. So all here you need to collect information. I need whether it's going to be open or closed. Okay. And if you try to run my code, actually, give me a second. I think just need. I will share with you my screen here just to try to simulate this one. Okay. Just I want to show you that how it's going to work here. Give me a second. I need to share that. You're gonna have this one starting today. I'm gonna run one of the machines, target machines that we have. You didn't need to see this one right now. The only thing, I'm gonna just run that machine, then I will leave this machine running. Actually, you can see this one in the recording, okay? So what I'm doing, I just run a target machine. I need to log into that machine. I'm gonna show you doing this today. How can you set up your own machine, okay? Give me a second here. I need just to log in. The machine must be running, okay? Let me show you this one, doesn't hurt. I'm running the machine. This is the target machine, okay? You are going to do this one today in the lab. So we're gonna have to Windows Server 2008. We're gonna talk about this one. It takes a few seconds, it depends, yeah, because it's a virtual machine and we didn't sign a lot with this machine. So one thing I need to show you here, come on. Go to the command, just I want to show you what the IP address of this machine. We're gonna see that it's gonna be built, there's like many servers, vulnerable servers are running in that machine. Okay, IP config, just I want to check the IP address. So the IP address of this machine 192.168.120. Okay, let me go back to so it's running. So I'm gonna go back to my Kali Linux, okay? And I think you have a postScanning too, this one. I want to show you, this is the code that we have, okay? I need to run from 1 to 1000, okay, doesn't hurt. Sorry. Then let me open terminal here and I need just to run this code. Oh, great. If they're gonna ask me, give me the IP address 192.168.120. Okay, we assume that the machine will be 20 there, and run my code here. You see that my code is gonna be run from 1000. See that those ports are open. So yeah, this is 80 definitely HTTP. Okay. Oh, they say I have a Apache server. We have 21, 22. This means FTP servers available there. Later we're gonna study this one in more details. Right now, that's what I expect from you to do here. If you try to run your code, when you run the code, this is the result somehow. I'm interested just to know the open ports. Okay, of course, we can add more functionality of this code in order to tell me what kind of servers are running there. So it's going to help me. And also, what the version, for example, if there is a Apache server there running at that, let's say vector machine or target machine. So it's good. It makes sense for us to say what the version of the Apache server or the kind of server. Based on the server number or the version number, I can tell whether there's going to be updated version or old version. If it's the old version, then I check whether there is a vulnerability associated with this one. Yeah, the class starting now makes sense, halfway. It's going to be interesting, by the way. I like this class. Because now, right now, it looks like we're going to learn a lot. And also, we are going to test a lot, okay? Halfway, if I'm still alive. Okay, so back to the slides here. I believe we have only one thing to finish. Then after that, back to the question that I received last time. Okay, yeah. So that's our code, okay? You can write your code using C language if you want. Sometimes you can write your C code. I believe you are familiar with the C language. Okay, this is the only code that I'll show you right now. I just tested with a specific IP address and show me the port numbers. Okay, you can write C programming, just write C code, and you can work with the C code in order to perform this one. So in other words, we can do whatever you want. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about this one up to a minute right now. That's gonna be in the lab 2. I mean lab 2. That I said. Today's lecture is gonna be, let us finish up whatever we left over from the previous lecture. Then after that, starting how can we set up our, let's say, lab in general. Okay. Writing the code in the C language, you know that you have used GCC. For example, you need to compile your code. Then you can use the O option in order to specify whatever the file of the target compiled program that you're going to use in order to execute later. So here, for example, you can, of course, you need to change the mode if you want to make it executable for your code. Then after that, you have to compile this one, and usually when you compile this one, the target machine or target program is going to be the same name as the program, I mean, original code, in order to make sure that it's clear for us. If you use different name, you're going to be confused what the name is going to be here. Okay, then when you run this code, the system is going to try to perform, for example, whatever, I mean, they're on here. Okay? One thing here I need to add, talk about the change mode here. Okay, let me go back to these slides here. Just very quick, okay? By the way, I like the question that we received last time. Let me check here. Yeah. Blank. I think I can write here. Yeah. We talk about the change mode, yeah. CH mode. The change mode is going to allow me in order to what? In order to change the permission of the file. I'm not going to take a long time, okay? We said that we can have owner. Let me write here. We have owner, okay? And we have, let's say, group. And we have like anyone else. Right? We can classify this one into 3 parts, okay? In the owner, I can give for every single, either it's going to be for the file or the folder. You can give read, write, execute. Read, write, execute. Read, write, execute. Based on the file or based on the, let's say, folder or directory, all right? You have a different ways how to set this one, either octal or the symbolic, or use the numeric number. Okay? So just speaking, for the reading, you always reading gonna have a number 4, writing gonna have a number 2, and execution gonna have a number 1. Okay? For example, I wanted to give the owner, let's say, and you need to add these numbers together. For example, we want to have for the file F1, we need for the owner read write, okay, and execute. For the group, we need only read execute, and for the anyone, we need only read. How can you do that? We have many ways. The simple thing, we can change mode. Okay. Oh, okay. Now in this case, I'm gonna use the numeric. Okay. I'll just say the octal, whatever you can specify that. For the read, it's gonna be 4. For the write, it's gonna be 2. For the execute, it's gonna be 1. I have only 1 digit, or 1 octal is gonna be right here. Okay, it's gonna be digit. So it looks like you have a 3 digit. The first digit is gonna be for the owner. The second one is gonna be for the group, and the third one is gonna be anyone else. Right? So from 0 up to 7. If you have set 0, that means there is no permission for whatever this group member. Okay, so here it's gonna be 7 because here it's gonna be read, write, execute, right? Here read and execute. Read gonna be 4 and execute gonna be 1, so the total gonna be 5 for the group. For the anyone else, for example, we said only read. The read is gonna be 4, right? Okay. I'm excited. 4. And the file 1, for example, that whatever the name of the file. So the file is gonna be here. You're gonna have read, write, execute for the owner, group, read, write, execute, and anyone else is gonna be read. Okay? Or we have another way to do that. We can use a symbolic. Okay, not absolute. So what does that mean in this case here? We're gonna perform, I mean, plus, minus, something like this. For example, you can say, for example, change mode. For the user, what you wanted to do for the user here. I can say for the user plus read, write, execute, comma. For the group, for example, plus let's say read, execute, comma. For the anyone else, it's gonna be to say O, okay, plus for example read, and for the file F1. This one or this one, they are equivalent. So far so good. We have something else. 99%, that's what we need for the change mode. These are advanced permissions. What is gonna be what? It looks like we have, let me have another color here, so it's gonna be much clearer here. Trying, yeah. Here, there's another digit at the beginning here. So we can have a 4 digits. Usually this digit is going to be 0. That's why we're going to say sometimes you're going to face example. I believe the question last time was a change mode 7754 or something like this. So it looks like we have one extra digit. So here we can add advanced permissions. And advanced permission can be associated with the owner, group, or anyone else. Okay, let's see what kind of permission that we have. We can have a set user ID. I hate that. Please, please, please. Let me write normally. Okay, so we have a set user ID. It's going to be only associated with the owner. We have another bit or another permission is going to be associated with the groups. Okay, we call this one the set group ID. And we have another permission, or the advanced permission, going to be associated with, let's say, anyone else. Okay, or let's say with the owner, it's going to be sticky here. Generally speaking, you can use this one, sticky bit. So we have like a set user ID, set group ID, and we have a sticky. Those are gonna be here in one the first. So it looks like when you have the formal or the syntax as a change mode, it looks like we have a 4 digits. Okay, the last 3 digits we know this one for what? This one for the owner, for this group. This is for the anyone else. The first digit is gonna be for the special, whatever the permission that we have or advanced. So those has the numbers or has, let's say, symbolic. We have a 2 different way how can we assign them. Let me write this one here. For example, I want to do, let's say, the set user ID. This one has a numeric form as number 4. Okay? Set group ID. I'm gonna have numeric number 2 if you want to use it as a numbers. And sticky here. I'm gonna be here like 1. Okay, so if you have a 7754, you know the last 3, right? The first digit, that means we assign the set user ID and the set group ID, and the sticky are used for this file or this folder. What does that mean? I'm gonna explain to you right now. If you try to use this one as a numeric, or let's say symbolic way, sorry, you can use this one plus S and this plus S. Both of them are gonna use the S letter. Okay, for the sticky we use T plus T. This is, I mean, the symbol in order to represent this. I mean, how can we assign the value? What does that mean here? Let's start with the simple thing. Okay, the set user ID. Generally speaking, you can, like, when you have a file, okay, when someone tries to execute or run this file, you have 2 options. The first one, or the normal way we're doing right now, when you launch or try to run any file, right, the system is going to check your permission as the user that tried to run this file. Do you have a permission to run this file or not? Are you the owner of this file? If you are the owner of this file, the system is going to check, I mean, the owner part, right? The first, I mean, the digits that associate with, or the permission associated with the owner, or the group, or anyone else. You set the set user ID for this file. So what does that mean here? That means in this case, looks like you're enforcing the user ownership in order executable file. So when someone tried to run this file, the system gonna say here, now I don't care about who are you. Since this one's set, that means you're allowed to run this file as you are the owner of this file. The simple example, we try to change the password. As a user, normal user, you don't have, for example, right access in order to modify or execute this file. But if the set, generally speaking, the system, you're going to see that for the password, WD, which allow you to change your password, okay, you check here, you see the owner, or the set user ID is set to 1. I mean, is set. That means here, we don't care about when you run your file, this file, the system is going to give you like the privilege of the owner in order to run this file. Make sense? Kind of. You're still live? Okay, great. Thank you, thank you. Oh, there's a delay. The delay is no larger than 12 seconds. Okay. The second one, the group. When you set this one to the set group ID, what does that mean? Generally speaking, when you have access to the folder, right? And the folder gonna maybe have a group permission for the group, or specific groups that can use this folder. Assume that we have, let me on this one, he clean the white one, yeah. I need to clean up this one, hopefully, yeah. Just I need to space here, I have minus space. Assume that we have a file, okay? And the file is, say, you have a folder, let's say. You have CS495, okay? This is the folder that we have, or directory. In the folder you have, let's say, the group, all the students that register of this class are member of this group that have owned this file. So, and take a look at this folder, you see the group here, so the one who owns this folder is the one that, for example, register of this class, okay? So, let me change the example a bit. Assume that we have ABC folder, okay? And we have a group, CS495, which own this file. This makes sense, easier. All the students registered of this class are the member of this group. How can you do this one? Usually you can create, to say, group, then add user to the created user, then you can add users to the group. Maybe we can touch this one later if we if you want to learn more about this one. Anyway, so we have a number of students or users are members of this group, and this group owns this file. The one that creates the file, the owner of this group. Okay, so since we have multiple users here, all of them have access to this file, this folder, and you cannot do what here? These guys have what here? They can create and modify any file of this group, for example, or this folder, right? I need to make sure that, for example, if I create file or one student create file, it's not allowed to any other student to delete this file. So it looks like you need to add some restriction of the file. You said that, I know, it's fine if you have access to any folder, okay? And you belongs to the group that, you say, manage this folder or owns this folder. You are not allowed to delete, manipulate any file stored under this folder unless you are the owner of this file. How can you do this one? I'm gonna assign the sticky bit here. So if you assign the sticky bit, that prevent that we have, only the owner of the user. It looks like add another restriction. Only the owner of the user can delete this file, no one else. Okay? The second one, the third one, the set group ID. This means when you create any file within this folder, we need to do what? By default, when you create a file within a folder, the system automatically is gonna say the owner of this, or the group that owns, the group that owns this file is similar to the group that the user belongs to. But I need to change this one. Anyone create any file, let's say within this folder here, let's say ABC here, it's gonna be like what? Automatically I need to assign the ownership as a group. It's gonna be the CS495, not the user here. So it looks like I have some, control about the data that, or how can we, who access what and who access not. So now you see, for example, if we have change mode, for example, let me give you a quick example. I need to have the, let's say, 1755. What does that mean here? That means this one, no one can delete this file except the owner of this file. You have to match the owner. So it's kind of security, it's kind of privilege. As I mentioned here, 99%, you are not going to use that most of the time in the normal, operation when you try to use a change mode. Hopefully that explain the idea behind this one. Make sense? Back to the class. This is not operating system class, by the way. Let's go back to, what we try to do here. So if you notice here, I already uploaded a new file, okay? It's called CS9 Lab2. Lab2 is available on the Blackboard, okay? So what's the lab 2? What do you expect from you? Now we're starting building our lab, okay? So let's give you an idea. What do we try to do here? Generally speaking, we try to build a lab, okay, with a security lab here. I hear that. Why I need to erase this one by myself? Why did you do it automatically? Huh. Yeah, give me a second, and it take time. Yeah, you can go check. I mean, the lab 2 is already available in the Blackboard and the assignments. I give you up to Sunday, February. Finally, we're done from January. Okay, 6 to finish this one. Okay, it's easy. The only thing you need to do, you need to download many files. I know you hit me with this one, but we need to have, I mean, a way. How can you do that? Okay. Anyway, let's go back here. Okay. In order to build our system or lab, what we need to do? We need to have like machine used as attack machine. Okay, so we're going to use a Kali Linux. This is the attack machine or the virtual machine. In order to attack something, I need to attack, let's say, whatever system. Of course, you will not attack your own computer. Let's say we have a target machine. Maybe we need more than one target machines. For example, maybe you have a Windows 2008, this one target machine. Maybe we have another target machine, Ubuntu 14.04. Maybe we have a third machine that a plan to do that. Maybe you're going to do this one next week. We have, for example, Windows 2016 server. And so we have, for example, let's say I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 as the target machines. Okay, what I need to do here, I need to build a self environment. I mean, a safe environment, not self, safe environment. What does that mean? I need to protect my own machine, right? So we're gonna put this one within the virtualization of the VirtualBox. All right, whatever is gonna happen within the VirtualBox, we need to gonna stay within the VirtualBox. I need to protect these, I mean, target machines. These target machines are going to be our machines are vulnerable, deliberately vulnerable. It's weak. There is no antivirus, for example. There is, for example, I'm going to install like an old versions of the Apache for FTP, whatever service we're going to have. We're going to have like weak or vulnerable web application, which allow us in order to simulate whatever, let's say, the SQL injection attack, and etc. Make sense? I need to make sure that no one from the outside world can access this machine and cause harm to me myself. So in this case, we're going to do what's called, I mean, build like a network or secure, safe environment network. I'm going to allow you only to communicate within this area. So that's the plan here. We have many ways in the virtualization. You can use NAT. You can use this, say, internal, I think, network. This is new. I didn't use this one. Or you can use host-only network. So what's the host-only network mean? Let me go back here. So by the way, all of them, you need to have what? We need to have a specific static IP address in order to help us to communicate. So we have a control here. Okay. The exploitable thing is allow us in order to what? They provide us with 2 target machines. The Windows 2008 and the Ubuntu 14.04. So we have a Windows system and we have a Unix system. We can simulate, I mean, help us in order that it's going to work as a target machines. Be configured, vulnerable. Don't use them in order to, as downloading your main computer as a host, then you're going to use them. No, don't use it. So we're going to put them inside the safe environment. And for each of them, we're going to specify IP address. For the Windows, I mean, for these target machines, the IP address is already pre-configured. So we're going to use 192.168.1.20 for the Windows, and it's going to be 192.168.1.30 for the Ubuntu. And for the Kali Linux, right now we don't have an IP address, but what I'm planning to do is we're going to do this one in the lab. We're going to set static IP address here, because sometimes you need to communicate between these machines and the Kali. Sometimes I want to send something here, or this one is going to communicate with this one. Then after that, we need somehow, after we control this machine, we need to get back whatever the data stored here, somehow we need to have like an access. So we need to have a specific IP address for the Kali. And I'm gonna use a static, so all of us, we can use the same environment, the same IP address, so there's no confusion. Make sense? The IP address for that Kali is gonna be 192.168.110. This is the numbers. 10, 20, 30 is nice numbers. If you want to use different numbers, this is your problem, but please, later we're going to be more confused, because right now, later we're going to say, we're going to use access the Ubuntu machine. Everyone use 192.168.130, and you use different IP address. Yeah, there's a problem, okay? How can you do that? Which is going to be for this lab. Okay, let me go back to the files. Now, hopefully this is clear. Then let's see, go over this one, see what the requirement, what you need to do here. So you take a look at the first one here. Okay, so this is the due date. Okay, hopefully you have time to finish this one. We're going to use the exploitable 3. Okay, how can you do this one? There's many ways to do that. Okay, there's a lengthy way. I save your time, I prepare everything. The only thing you need to do, what? Just download the files, the prepared files. And you need just to add this one to your machines. If you trust me, of course. Okay? So that's the requirement, the delivery for every single lab. This is the structure. We try to have a lab overview here. Hopefully there is no errors, mistakes, typos. We'll try to figure out, review this one again. This is the requirement for the screenshot that you need to add to the report. In the report, you have a PDF or the document file. You just put, the screenshot right now. When you have the class in person, I'm gonna say this one in your machine, so I can see whether you did it or not. But we're gonna rely on this one, even in person, right? Because I can't remember everything. Anyway, so here we have what? We're gonna have 2 machines. The Metasploitable 3 have 2 virtual machines, the Windows and the Ubuntu. So I want from you to give me like a screenshot like this. This is the virtual machine. This is virtualization. I'm using Mac. Maybe you have a different operating system. Those things might be different. You can put the Metasploitable 1 machine and 2 here, both of them running, and you have a screenshot here. And I want to see the date of the time here. Yeah. It's a pre-configured machine, so it's prepared to have a machine that make our life easier to simulate that. Yeah, those, if you check, the next slide, or page, I give you an idea about the Metasploitable 3. What do you mean by this one? First, let me finish this one, then I will get back to you. Okay? So here you see that I want for you to make sure that the date is right. Okay? It's clear. I can see the date, maybe the last login, or maybe display the date. Give me, something that you did it. By the way, if you didn't do this lab, you cannot do lab 3 and lab 4 and 5. Okay? So I expect everyone, they're gonna do it. Anyway, the second page, or the next one, now starting looking, if you define something new we never talk about, so you try to give you an idea what's going on with this one, give you like short description, okay, what this one is gonna have. So we talk about the Metasploitable in general, 3. There is a Metasploitable 2 with old version. This is 3. When we say all that one, only Ubuntu. This is Windows and Ubuntu. And by the way, in the next lab, I'm going to show you, for example, how can you download, for example, Windows Server or whatever operating system, then how make this operating system vulnerable. Of course, intentionally vulnerable, okay? Because it's gonna help us or teach us how can you do the pen testing. Okay? So here, the description, okay, more details. What I need from you to do that when you talk about the Metasploitable, I create the 2 files as OVA format, which allow you, it's gonna be in the shared folder. I think you have, all of you have access to this shared folder. Yeah, I just give you the access right to this one. This one gonna contains 2 files. Let me go here. I think I can share this one with you. Yes, that one. Yeah, this is the shared folder. We have 2 files. You just download this one. You can scan them, okay? If you want to use this one within your virtual machine, that you need to make sure that you have access to the internet from the Kali Linux. Okay, so you can download these files. Okay, once you download them, the rest is gonna be easy here. Okay, so So when you share them, the only thing you need to do what? You just to add them here. You can check here for the file. If you have access to the file, you can say import appliance here. And here you can just say where you download your data. Okay? Then just click find the file. Then after that you say continue. So the straightforward here. Once you download this one, you're gonna see here you see that I'm testing a lot. We have many virtual machines. In your case, you're gonna have one exploitable, for example, Windows, and another one for the Ubuntu. Okay? When you run one of them, it's already running here. Yeah. And this is the one, I think you can see this one here. Not exactly, but yeah. The machine, you can run them in order to make sure that whether it makes sense or not, whether they're connected or not. Once you download the machine, yeah, or upload the machine or set the machine, the OVA allow you to do this one in a very easy way. Just upload the file, import that file, then done. Everything is ready. Just you need to run the machine here. The same thing that we did with the Kali Linux. Okay? Of course, if you want to do this one by yourself, I would be happy to help you to do this one. You can install or you can generate or rebuild the machines by yourself. Okay? But as I mentioned, you try to save the time. Okay? And I believe it's not your job right now. We are not going to focus mainly just to waste your time how to build the machine. But it doesn't hurt if you go over this one by yourself. Okay? So we have two machines. The numbers may be not accurate. The gigabyte, I think it's going to be 7 point something, and this is 2.33, I believe. Last time I checked, I need to update this one. I'll give you step by step. Start one at a time, file at a time. Once you upload this one, the next one here, the step by step, everything is following, easy just to follow this one. And the same thing here. If you want to change the name, you can change. If you want to add more memory, you can do that. Although you do need this one. The only thing, and I'm going to use these machines, I'm going to run them, and mainly I'm going to work with a Kali, try to access these machines. That's the most important thing. Okay? Once you've done two machines, yeah, you need to repeat the same steps for the, let's say, the Ubuntu machines. Once you're done here, now we need to have what's called the network setting. Remember that we said we have now Kali here, and we have, let's say we have a Kali here. Your Kali, for example, here. And we have a Windows 2008, and we have a Ubuntu 1.04.04. Okay? This is one machine, one machine, one machine. We need to build a network in order to allow these machines to communicate. Right? That's the goal of having network. As I mentioned, I give you like some details, some information about what kind of networks are available here for the virtual machines, okay, or VirtualBox. There's a many, okay. Right now, by default, all the Kali, if you check the network that's connected right now, we're gonna see it's NAT, okay. We have many options, okay. We can use host only, which allow this case. Host only means in this case your machines can, if you have, they are going to be in the same network, they can communicate with each other internally. No one from outside, I mean, it's not connected to the internet. I'm not going to connect to the internet right now. Okay, maybe within the class we need to download something from the internet. Maybe I'm going to connect the Kali for a while, just for a moment, maybe a few minutes, just to download something. Then after that, disconnect this one. I need to isolate this one on the network from the outside world in order to protect your own computer. Okay, your system, which I mean makes sense. Okay, I don't need to connect to the outside world. The only thing I need just, to simulate the attacking access mechanisms from here, right? So nice. We have a computer with Kali, and Kali tried to communicate with access to say the machines from the outside world. I mean the virtual machines. We can use internal network. I didn't use this one before, but maybe I'm going to use this one later. This is more secure. This is only from the virtual machine can communicate with each other. Your host computer cannot communicate with them. So right now, when you host computer something, the operating system outside the virtual box, do you want this one communicate with the virtual machines or not? If not, we can use the internal network. Okay, bridge allow you to communicate with the internal machine, virtual machines with each other, and also with the host machine, and also connect to the internet. Okay? Not attach
they can't see each other. We don't need that because we need somehow they communicate with each other, right? I mean the virtual machines. Okay, so this is the steps here to communicate in order to generate this one. One thing I need to add here, I'm going to set, the host only network in the VirtualBox. And generally speaking, maybe you didn't need to create a new adapter. Okay, when you talk about the adapter, it looks like you have you need to simulate or to say have adapter, where network adapter, okay, virtual network adapter, where all the networks, then after that you can assign, attach, to say machines, physical machine, host machine, virtual machine to this network or this adapter to work. And we have many modes, which we're gonna use, the host only, okay? So you need to create host only adapter, okay? It's by default, there is one exists there, but we need just to modify or update the IP address. I need to make sure the IP address starts with 192.168.1.1. So generally speaking, you're gonna find one there. It depends whatever operating system that you have on VirtualBox. In your machine. In my case, Mac is gonna be OXNet. In the Windows, I think they use this one VirtualBox, etc. They have a long name. All of them can be the same one, but it depends whatever the operating system that you have. Anyway, you just do what here? I'm talking about the main one. Okay, you just click here on this item, check find the tools, network. Then after that, you can create a new one, or you can modify the existing one. You just click over this one. Then after that, you can go the properties. Then you have to put these following data. Okay. Once you're done, you need to make sure that add adapter to this connection. Let me show you how to do this one quick. Okay. I'm going to share this. Okay, I can use this one, the network here, and that's what they have. This is the properties, and here the details here. You just need to modify the numbers here. Okay, here for the DHCSP and for the adapter. Okay, the numbers given there. Once you're done here, okay, I need for every single machine, for example, let me go with a Kali. You can go to the network. We have many ways to do that. The only, for every single machines that we have, virtual machines, you need to specify that, use the host only network adapter. Okay, I go to the network here. It's not clear. I don't know why I can't see this one. Then after that, let me try to do something different. Okay, can you see this one? I know it's annoying a little bit, but at least it's gonna help us to see the network here, etc. Go to the network. You have many adapters, okay? You can assign many adapters. And here you have to use enable network adapter and show that you're gonna use host only, okay? And you're gonna use the name and just do okay. Okay? Let's take a look with the other virtual machine. Network, okay? Then after that, you check here, enable network adapter, make sure that you have host only, and make sure that sometimes you maybe have many host only adapters here. Make sure they're going to use the right one. You just set and make sure 192.168.1.1. Okay? Then after that, okay. And etc. for all of them. Okay? Need to go to the Kali here. Yeah, it's bad to share the entire. Don't do this one, okay? Don't share your entire screen. Anyway, when I log into the Kali, the only thing you need to do, you need to adjust the IP address for the Kali links. I give you the steps how to do that, okay? So let me show you the simple thing here. You can go to the connection here, okay? You can have right-click, connection or information, or edit connection, sorry. If you go to the edit connection, you're gonna see you have many connections. Right now we have only one, which is the wired connection, and I need to do the setting here. It looks like how can you set static IP address? Again, for the other virtual, the target machines, everything is a setting for you. You didn't need to change anything. The only thing you need to do this right now for the Kali. Of course, for the other machines, you need to make sure the network adapter is going to be what? Host only, in order to communicate. But you don't need to change their IP address. Go to the IP version 4. You just add the one. What's the IP address that you want here? As you mentioned, going to be 10 here. Yeah. Then save. Then, yeah. Once you're done, you can check the IP address here. You have many ways to do that. IPA. There's one way to do that. then this is your IP address. You see that here. In order to make sure that it works fine or not, we can ping, for example, -C1 to 192.168 to 120, see whether I can ping that machine or not. You see that, yes, I can ping. So I have access to that machine. At least we can see each other. Sorry, we can see each other. And if you ping from that machine, definitely you're gonna ping. So you try and make sure that you can ping to the virtual machine Windows and the Ubuntu in order to see whether it makes, you have access to them or not. Okay? Make sense? You are going to do this one only one time. And then after that, everything is going to be okay. Because we're going to mainly just work in this machine. So now we assume if you have a problem, you need to double check whether the machine can see each other or not. One thing we need to add here, we need to figure out, what the credential that they can use. Okay? What kind of credential here? By the way, this is, that's what I show you right now. Step by step, how can you do the IP address, etc. Yeah, how to do this one step by step. Once you're done, you need to do the ping. Yeah, and you can tell, for example, you need to take a picture or image for the ping here. Show me that you did that. I said give you the, the command. The instruction. What we can do. One thing here, so maybe someone is gonna say, okay, what's the default username and password for the virtual machines? Of the target virtual machines that we have. We put everything is here. The Kali Linux, okay? And this is the exploitable 2008, the machine and the Windows machine, the target machines. Those are the IP addresses associated with them. Those are, if you try, when you run these machines, we have to log in. Then after that, leave it running. Then you can ping these machines. We have, usernames. We have 2 usernames and the password vagrant. And we have, for example, have only one username here, the one that we can use, and this is the password. Okay, so this is all the credentials that you want to have access to. Require in order to use this machine. Okay, one thing, the last one, once you're done your lab, everything is okay, fine, perfect. Here, you're gonna do the pinging, by the way, yeah. You have to show me that you can, the other machine is down, so, I didn't run the Ubuntu machine, but that, if you have all the settings fine from the Kali, you can ping the Windows machine, you can ping the Ubuntu machine, the virtual, I'm talking about the target machines. If you got, there's no loss packet, this means you managed to correctly do that, so that's fine. Okay? I ask you I want to modify this one, make sure they send only 2 packets. Okay, so you need to see of course 2 in this case, not 1. Screenshot, put it here. One more thing, the last thing here. Remember we talk about the. This is not the right. I will update this one. This is gonna be script shell or whatever shell scripting, not the change mode command. Okay, I need just to update this one. So anyway, remember we have the slide 55. We said we wanted to modify the script in order to just display the live IP address only. Yeah, check that slide. I give you the code. You need to modify this one in the way that this one is going to produce only the live IP address. So if you check this one 192.168.1 as the input, the system can display, for example, if the Ubuntu machine and the Windows machine are live, the system is going to say, okay, the 192.168.110, for example, the Kali is live, and 20 with the Windows, and 30 is the other machine. Okay? Okay, that's all, guys. I've said today is going to be short lecture, but it's not short. Yeah. So anyway, that's all from my side. Make sure that to finish this one, okay? Hopefully, yeah, you finish this one before next week, okay? I think you have up to Sunday. Make sure that you set the correct, the network, then ping each other, then you see, yeah, it's recorded, yeah, I will upload it to the Blackboard. Okay, thanks guys, and see you on Wednesday, hopefully.